Alright, this is Calibos, and we are playing Minecraft. I think it's Beyond the Skies. Wait, what are we playing? Nope. This would be Project Ozone. I totally knew that. No surprise there. So I've done a little bit of things that did not involve actually sieving, because I hate sieving. I really do. I'm kind of unhappy that I'm forced to sieve. But maybe we can arrange something else besides sieving. Either way, we have to do this. This is next in the Tinker's Quest line. And they want us to make porcelain melters, porcelain tanks, porcelain faucets, porcelain casting basin, porcelain casting table. So, to make porcelain, we have a couple of choices. If we can find porcelain blocks, we can make them into porcelain balls. 2 clay and a nether quartz makes unfired porcelain. Or, much more cheaply, 1 clay and a bone meal also makes unfired porcelain. And I think that is the route that we will choose to go this time. So I am aware that we're going to need a couple of bones, a couple of porcelain, some exciting things like that. And you know, I need to empty my inventory again. I think I'm running out of pizza. There we go. So, in order to do this, I've calculated that we're going to need, what is that, 8. Plus 6 is 14, plus another 6 is 20, and this is 7, and this is 7, so that would be 34. So what we're going to do is get rid of that. 2. Put that in there. And then we are going to do this. Ta-da! Next step, we could really use some glass. So in order to make glass, we're going to grab some sand. We're going to need 1 right off the bat. I forgot that we were doing things. I've got a lot of random clay scattered around. So how much of this do we have? So let's go ahead and make 7, 8 really quick, because we can. Yeah, you can tell that I have just been being a disaster. Is it like that? Oh, I have to cook these. I was probably aware of that. Okay, so in other news, I have verified that I was in fact incorrect. These onks, they want actual playtime. So that is unfortunate. I don't remember it being like that, but you know, I could simply have not been paying attention. And that may have been an earlier version of the pack as well, or an earlier version of the mod. My gosh, this takes forever. I'm hoping that when we get to making grout, which is the next thing, oh, that's silly. I can't believe that we are going to have to do it in a melter instead of just an oven. That's somebody just trying to be unfortunate, I guess. All right, so we're going to chuck that in there and begin processing that down. That's going to take a little while. I'm fairly certain that yeah, all of these require bricks, so it's just a matter of waiting for this stuff to go down. So I've begun accumulating a little bit more metal, and I'm starting to wonder if there isn't a better choice for storage. So I've thought about upgrading these to iron chests in the near future. And iron chest. So it's not a very difficult upgrade to make. If we take a regular chest and surround it by iron, it makes an iron chest. If we want to leave it in place, we can take a regular chest or the same amount of iron, put it around a plank, and then it makes an upgrade, which will upgrade something in location, which is pretty cool. However, at that point, you know, I don't exactly have a lot of iron on me. So for the moment, I'm just going to make some regular chests. And pretty much suffer. That's my plan. I'm just going to suffer a little bit. There's not very much down there. Let's fix that. I do not want to vein miner because I like having something to stand on. And this is me very conscientiously trying not to hit the vein miner button, because I will do that a lot. Alright, fishing rod, fishing rod. This we're going to be using later. I made a silly amount of these hammers because I was planning to whatchamacallit, I am not very focused today. Just cannot do the thing. I was planning on making compressed hammers, but they're not actually in the pack. So because they're not in the pack, I have decided not to make them. Completely by choice. Oh man. So I think that this pack is supposed to be a little bit expert style. I'm not sure how much of an expert style. Wrong one. I usually have my pickaxe in that slot, so torches always go into this slot. There we go. Let's make it so that we're not doing that thing. I also expanded this out so I don't have to keep like falling off the platform to get apples. Not that I've actually been eating apples, I've actually been eating pizza. Because we have a lot of pizza. Alright, so let's begin knocking this out. So we want to make porcelain. We want to make one of these. We want to make one of those. Do we need the melter actually? Yes, we do. One of those. I have forgotten. Faucet, casting basin, and casting table. Faucet. Oh, there's some more in here still. Casting basin. It's times like this that I miss all of the automation that I've set up in other packs. You know, I could already have this done already. One more. And basin. All right. So now we're going to get our random acts of kindness. I do not know how to shut that off. I have kind of looked around a little bit. It's a real hassle. I wonder if there's like a config option somewhere. There has to be. Oh, weird. Different themes. Wow, that's weird. So if we were a random act of kindness, and there we go. So now we have that. We have ourselves a, let me check something. Seared. Oh no, we're actually going to have to do it with this. Ah, that's annoying. I know that some people are very excited about having all sorts of extra steps, but I am not sure that I do. Do we have a thing? I'm certain there was this thing that we were having that how did we miscount? Oh, I know what it was. So we need 4 more. 1, 2, 3, 4. So let's cook the last ones here. So another thing that we're going to have to work out is I would like... Oh, we've got redstone. Sweet. I need to raise this up by 1 if I can. Okay, for the purposes of automation, we're gonna use some of our iron because I am not interested in like sitting here forever. No, I have a crafting table on a stick. I wondered about that. I thought I had made one, but I lost it. So we'll put that there. We'll make another one really quick. This one we turn into a hopper. Oops. Do that. Chuck that down there. Then we're gonna put one of these there. Oop. Man, I am terrible at this. We're gonna move this over. Alright, so to use one of these, we're gonna need porcelain. So many cool recipes. Iron furnace. Okay. If that cooks faster, I may very excitedly leap onto that concept. Okay, I don't know. Try this. porcelain heater. So this is going to go, what? Here, I guess. And that goes on top. And that goes there, and this goes there. So the concept is, this heats up everything in here into a liquid, and then this pours it into the casting table. Now the reason I have this here is we're going to need to make a mold for our stuff. Very conveniently, we can do that. Can we actually just call? Okay, that's pretty good, actually. I like this plan. So I'm not sure if it takes one or two, so I'm just going to do that for now, and we'll put a second one in there. And I'm betting that lava actually works better. Oh, it chucked it into the heater. So if I take that out, and I put that here, it's at the bottom. Okay, so that's weird and convenient. So next step of this plan for automation, we're going to need a little bit of that. We're going to need a stick maybe. We're going to need crafting table. So we want a couple of these. And by a couple, I meant one. I wanted one of those. That was a waste. I guess I'll probably like figure out something to do with redstone torches at some point. So this is a redstone clock. And what it does is it sets a pulse. And let's chuck that in there. It sets a pulse on a regular thing. You can see it's kind of flashing. And when I give it a redstone signal of any sort, it shuts off. So the idea is, let's chuck that in there. So the idea is, since this faucet works every time that it gets a right click or a redstone pulse, whenever there's a liquid in there, it will automatically try to dump the liquid into the casting table. And it's going to take it a second to do it because this thing is dirt slow. Then, once there is, something done into the casting table, so ingots or blocks or whatever, depending on what's set up here, it will, just going to make another hopper while we talk, because hopper. It will drop it into the chest. So if you're wondering where I got all of the iron that I currently am having, I've pretty much been getting them from mob drops. So I vaguely have been thinking about setting up a thing to an automatic mob farm to collect the mob drops. All right, so that is a cast. And you'll notice that it kind of is shaped like an ingot. It is an ingot cast. Yeah, ingot cast. It even says it if I do the thing. But what I can do with it is, now that we have another hopper, I can chuck that on top. And we can look at our next quest. So this is our next quest. We need a single piece of grout. I tend not to do things by halves, so now we have too much grout. To be quite frank, I actually didn't intend to turn all of that into grout. I just really screwed up. So, you can all laugh at me later. I'm sure you probably will anyway. People take great joy in things like that. So we are going to chuck all of this in here. We're going to get some more out for this. Hopefully this is going to work its way through. You'll notice it's only got 3 slots. Whenever possible, I just avoid this thing. It's completely horrible. And only exists as basically an intermediate step for like making things complicated. Which, you know, I spend all of my time trying to make things simple. So let's work on the next step. It's going to take it quite a while to get through enough grout. Oh man, that zombie villager. Yeah, we're going to need quite a lot to get through this. We can start looking at the hunting dimension. I really hate killing zombie villagers. If I can, I like to save them. But there's actually, I don't know if you can see it, but there's a second zombie in here. And I'm not sure that I have what I need to save them. I wish people were more okay with things stacking. So I guess I'm just going to kill it. Because I would need a weakness potion and a golden apple. Which there's no way that I'm making a weakness potion right now. And then I would have to trap the zombie villager somewhere where A, it couldn't be exposed to daylight, B, close enough so that it doesn't despawn. Things like that. Oh yeah. So, in other plans that we had today, you'll remember we were working on the Corral tombstone stuff. I would like to progress a little bit further. Not probably a lot further, but a little bit further. This can probably go here. It's a mob drop, sort of, technically, I guess. So, I ran into a thing. That's cool. So I just saw somebody make this recipe on accident the other day. And so now I know how to make gas tiers. That is going to be important later. Very important. Because, I mean, we've already got 11 catalyzing glands, and we're not really trying too hard. So I'm really hoping that by the time we actually start being a tryhard about them, we can get a lot of them. And we're going to chuck that in there for now. And I almost never use these casting basins. Like, yeah. I'm going to hold on to it for now because it doesn't hurt. But I basically just never use them. Okay, so you can't put stuff back in there. That's good to know. Alright, so let's grab the sticks, or the dry branches. There we go. Try to push. So another thing that I wanted to do is I wanted to make a fishing rod. But we want to make a special fishing rod. Which button is it? Alright, so if we look at our advancements, go to Tombstone, that now gives us the fishing rod of misadventure. And then we would use that to fish in here. Then we wait forever. Alright, so we got a jellyfish. So I'm basically going to be fishing with this. You've seen how exciting it is, and I'm going to be looking for stuff. It's going to be very great, I'm sure. And I'm just going to use this fishing rod up until it's gone and see what happens. I'm supposed to get like tablets and weird stuff with it. And I'll just keep a bunch of things to show you what I have. Otherwise, it basically acts like a regular fishing rod, I guess. So yeah, if you liked it, leave a like. If you don't, don't. Simple as that. Questions, comments, concerns can all go below. And I hope you folks have a great night.